Kelly Sheehan for sheriff? He has decades of experience over me, and let's not forget his weird voodoo magic hold on people. I'd never win." "Don't sell yourself short." Neva squeezed her hand. "You have the very things people are thirsting for: honor, integrity, smarts, and family." "And you look better than him," Rafe added. "Thank you for that fine assessment, Raphael Fontaine." Elizabeth bit down on her cheeks to quell the smile. "Mom's right. You can win this. And once you've taken office, we can begin the process of weeding out the criminals and corruption that's been plaguing our communities for so long, starting with the drug problem." "Jason, you act as if I already have won the election. I haven't even given my consent to do this. I need time to think about it." "There's not much time. In order to get a good campaign going and make sure people go to the booth voting for you, we need an answer by tonight." Not leaving a whole lot of wiggle room there for a second option, Meyer. "The only option is another 4 years of Sheehan's corrupt and perverted version of law and order." Jason pushed out of his seat and tilted forward. "What's your final answer, Elizabeth?" Chapter 1. Day 1, Wednesday. As a child, the adults surrounding Elizabeth Benoit called her listless, a daydreamer. Names meant to cut her to the quick, but she'd owned them, let them define who she truly was as a person. 45 years later, she'd become a better woman than those folks from her childhood had expected. Pressed against the edge of the counter jutting out into the center of her kitchen, she stared at the black liquid, her lifeblood dripping from the reservoir. It would take more than a pot of coffee to sort out this new mess her intelligence had uncovered. Reaching into the cabinet above the coffee maker, she pulled out a brown Yeti mug and a green thermos. The black gold burbled out of the tank. Removing the glass pot, she poured the contents into her mug and then the thermos. Last night, she'd decided to wrap up a particularly turbulent Tuesday at Marnie's bar. Since winning the election and taking over as sheriff last month, Elizabeth hadn't seen much of her sister and needed a hit of whatever mojo Marnie exuded in copious amounts. 5 drinks and a tottering walk home later, thank God she lived only a block away, Elizabeth was greeted by a surprise, an unwelcome one. The cadence of an easy swagger punctuated by the metal-on-metal rip of a zipper preceded the appearance of that unwelcomed surprise. Elizabeth turned as he exited the hallway. A half-cocked grin, bare chest, and half-done-up jeans met her. Yep, she'd let his whiskey-honeyed voice and moves seduce her once again. Damn him. "Morning." Sighing, Elizabeth braced her body against the counter. "Joel?" The finely honed Delta Force operative strode past her to take a glass out of the cabinet above the sink and grabbed the half-gallon milk jug out of the fridge. After pouring himself a generous amount, Joel Fontaine, ex-husband, leaned against the sink and downed the entire contents of the glass. Finished, he set the glass in the sink. "Why are you here?" she asked. "Wasn't it obvious last night?" Rolling her neck, she crossed her arms and dropped her gaze to the squared toes of her boots. "You can't come back from a long mission and expect a booty call every time you visit Iowa." Her gaze darted back to him. "We're divorced, remember?" Joel pushed off the sink's edge and inched closer to her, dipping his broad, muscled shoulders so he could meet her gaze dead on. "I didn't hear one protest out of you before or after." Anger snapped through her. "Because I was drunk, you ass." She pushed him away. "This," she jabbed a finger between them, "is why we divorced in the first place. Except for the sex, we're not good together, and even the sex had problems." Joel held up his hand.